am handing the whiteboard to George for this episode. Go for it.
Thank you, Erica. This is a topic I have seen play out many times in my career. Let me share what I know. Every network engineer I have ever trained learned ping on day one and then spent the next 10 years underestimating what it actually does. Today we fix that. By the end of this video, you will know exactly which tool to reach for when a connection breaks and why each one answers a different question.
The whole family of tools we are covering today rides on one tiny protocol called ICMP, the Internet Control Message Protocol. It is defined in RFC 792, which was published way back in September 1981. ICMP does not carry user data. It carries diagnostic messages about the network itself.
I had a coworker once spend 3 hours debugging an application outage before realizing the server was fine and the firewall was silently dropping ICMP. The application never broke. The diagnostic tools did, and because nobody trusted them, the whole team chased ghosts.
That story connects every tool we are about to cover. Ping, Traceroute, Pathping, and MTR all lean on two specific ICMP messages. Echo request is type 8, echo reply is type 0, and there is a third message called time exceeded, which is type 11, that does the clever trick behind Traceroute.
Stick with me through scene 3 for the time to live trick that makes Traceroute possible, because once you see it, you will never read a Traceroute output the same way again. Before the content, a quick team intro.
I am excited to watch this one unfold. I will jump in when I cannot help myself.
River here. Borrowing from other fields is my favorite habit.
Liam, I started with a hot take. It did not survive contact with the facts.
All right, the table is set. Let us eat.
Ping is the simplest tool in the toolkit. It sends an echo request to a target and waits for an echo reply. If the reply comes back, the target is reachable at the network layer. If it does not, something between you and the target is broken, or the target itself is down.
Ping gives you 3 answers at once. Is the host reachable? How much traffic is getting lost? And how long does each round trip take? Those 3 numbers tell you a surprising amount about the state of a network before you even open a more advanced tool.
The flags matter because they differ between operating systems, and the exam loves to test that. On Windows, -T means ping continuously until you stop it, -N sets a specific count, and -L changes the payload size. On Linux and macOS, the equivalents are -C for count and -S for size. Erica, the mismatch between those flags trips up a lot of people coming from one platform to the other.
I worked a call center outage once where the ping results told the whole story before we even opened a ticket. Packet loss was 30%, round trip time was jumping between 20 and 2,000 milliseconds, and it only happened during peak hours. That pattern screamed congestion on an undersized uplink.
Here is a detail that comes up on exams and in real troubleshooting. The time to live value in the ping reply hints at what operating system the target is running. Linux and macOS default to 64, Windows defaults to 128, and many routers and switches default to 255.
Read the loss and the round trip time together. 0 loss with a clean, low round trip is a healthy path. High loss with a stable round trip suggests a saturated link. Low loss with wildly variable round trip points at a flaky wireless segment or a congested queue. Ping tells you whether you can reach a destination. Traceroute tells you the path your packets are taking. In a real outage, that distinction is everything. If ping fails, Traceroute shows you exactly how far you get before the path breaks.
The trick Traceroute uses is elegant. It sends a series of packets, starting with a time to live of 1. Every router that handles a packet subtracts 1 from the time to live.
So when time to live hits 0, the router just drops the packet. That sounds like a feature designed for loop prevention, not for mapping paths.
Exactly, River. That is the whole trick. When time to live hits 0, the router sends back a time exceeded message, which is ICMP type 11. And that reply reveals the router's identity. Traceroute then sends another probe with a time to live of 2, which gets dropped by the second router. And so on until the probe reaches the destination.
That connects straight to what Erica said earlier about ICMP being a control protocol. Traceroute is not really asking hosts for data. It is deliberately triggering error messages from every router along the way and using those errors to build a map.
I had a customer once swear their cloud provider was down because they could not reach an application. Traceroute showed the packets were dying at their own internet service provider's edge router, not anywhere near the provider. 10 seconds of evidence saved a 3-hour escalation to the wrong vendor.
Here is the exam trap. On Windows, the command is traceroute with a T, and by default it uses ICMP, echo requests, the same type 8 packets that ping uses. On Linux, the command is traceroute spelled out, and by default it uses UDP, packets starting at port 3434.
That difference matters because some firewalls block ICMP, but allow UDP, or the reverse. On Linux, the -I flag switches Traceroute to use ICMP, matching what Windows Traceroute does. And the -T flag switches Linux Traceroute to send TCP, SYN packets instead. Stick with me through the last scene where this flag becomes the tool that saves you when ICMP gets filtered.
Here is where things get interesting for anyone troubleshooting a real network. A plain traceroute shows the path, but it does not tell you which hop is dropping packets over time. Pathping fills that gap.
Pathping is a Windows command that first runs a traceroute to discover the hops. Then, for roughly 25 seconds, it sends a batch of pings to every single hop on the way.
So it is essentially pinging every router the traceroute discovered, not just the final destination.
Exactly, Liam. And by default it sends 100 echo requests per hop, which gives you a statistically meaningful sample of loss at every step.
That design connects the two tools we already covered. Traceroute answers the question, what is the path? And ping answers the question, how healthy is this one spot? Pathping stitches them together and shows you the health of every spot on the path at the same time.
In practice, Pathping is my go-to when a user complains about intermittent slowness and Traceroute looks fine. Traceroute takes one snapshot per hop, so a router that drops 5% of packets might look healthy. Pathping sends 100 probes and exposes that 5% every time.
I used Pathping on a VoIP outage where calls worked for most users, but one site had choppy audio. Pathping showed the second hop inside the WAN was losing 8% of packets. The provider had a faulty line card. We never would have spotted that with a single traceroute run.
The catch for the exam is simple. Pathping is a Windows-only command. If the question describes a Linux or macOS host, Pathping is the wrong answer, and the right answer is usually MTR, which is coming up next. MTR stands for My Traceroute. It was originally written by Matt Kimball back in 1997, and it has been a network engineer's best friend on Linux ever since. MTR does what Pathping does, except it runs continuously and updates the display in real time.
Pathping is a Windows one-shot. Run it, wait 25 seconds, read the result. MTR is the opposite, a live view that keeps updating until you stop it.
That makes it perfect for watching a path while something interesting is happening, like a backup job kicking off or a phone call starting.
The display gives you a column per statistic: loss percentage, packets sent, last round trip, average, best, worst, and standard deviation.
Standard deviation is the hidden gem there. A high standard deviation means the path is jittery, which destroys voice and video quality even when the average round trip looks fine.
I once diagnosed a real estate firm's video conference problem with MTR in about 2 minutes. Average round trip looked great, but the standard deviation on hop 4 was 30 milliseconds. Their provider had a misconfigured queue that was buffering bursts, and the fix took a phone call.
On Linux and macOS, MTR is typically installed out of the box or a quick package install away. On Windows, the equivalent is a free port called WinMTR, which you can run without admin rights for most quick checks.
Networks loves to pair these two tools. If the scenario is Windows, Pathping is the answer. If the scenario is Linux or macOS or continuous monitoring, MTR is the answer. Memorize that split, and you will catch every question in this family. Here is where a lot of engineers get burned. Many firewalls block ICMP by default as a security hardening measure. That means ping, and the Windows version of Traceroute gets silently dropped, and you read the blank output as a dead host when the host is actually fine.
I watched an intern declare a critical database down because ping timed out, and the database was serving thousands of queries per second at that exact moment. The firewall just refused ICMP. A ping failure is not proof of an outage. It is one data point, and you need at least one more before you escalate.
This connects straight back to scene 3. On Linux, Traceroute-T sends TCP, SYN packets to a real service port, usually port 80 or port 443. Firewalls that drop ICMP almost always allow web traffic, so a TCP probe gets through and reveals the path.
Another option is a tool called Traceroute. It works exactly like Traceroute, except the probe is a TCP, SYN to a port you pick. If the destination is a web server, send SYN packets to port 443, and you will usually see every hop right up to the server.
If you forget everything else from today, remember this one anchor. Pick the probe your firewall will actually allow. Ping tests ICMP. Traceroute on Windows tests ICMP, and if ICMP is filtered, then a TCP-based tool is the only one that tells the truth.
Drop in the comments the weirdest outage you ever diagnosed with ping or Traceroute, and which tool finally gave you the real answer. Liam, I know you have a good one from that retail migration. Now let us see how much stuck with 3 quiz questions.
Okay, it is quiz time. Let's find out what stuck. Think through each question carefully before you answer.
If this video is worth your time, a like and subscribe is worth 2 seconds of yours. We will see you in the next one.
A technician runs the Traceroute command from a Windows workstation to map the path to an external web server. Which protocol and packet type does Traceroute use by default? And why does this choice matter in environments with restrictive firewalls? The correct answer is D, ICMP, echo request packets, because Traceroute on Windows relies on the same ICMP Type 8 messages that ping uses and will fail silently if a firewall along the path blocks ICMP traffic.
A network engineer on a Linux server needs to identify which specific hop between the server and a remote customer is dropping packets intermittently over the next several minutes. Which tool is the best fit for this scenario? The correct answer is MTR because it continuously combines Traceroute and ping in a live display that reveals per hop loss over time on Linux and macOS.
A student is learning how Traceroute discovers each router between a source and destination. Which mechanism does Traceroute rely on to force intermediate routers to identify themselves? The correct answer is D. Traceroute sends probes with incrementing time to live values starting at 1, and each router that drops a packet, because the time to live reached 0 returns an ICMP, time exceeded message that reveals the router's address.
If I could leave you with one habit today, it would be this. Before you believe a ping failure, try a TCP probe. So many outages are actually firewall policy changes. And a 2-second test with a different tool saves hours of escalating the wrong problem.
The piece that ties all 4 tools together for me is the time to live trick. Ping uses a reply to confirm reachability. Traceroute, Pathping, and MTR all use time exceeded responses triggered by shrinking time to live values to discover the path. One protocol feature, 4 different diagnostic lenses.
Theory gets you hired. Experience keeps you there. Until next time.
Not bad, George. I would give that a solid 8 out of 10. Professor Erica, signing off.